Picture this: the thrill of a royal visit unfolding right in your community, where everyday folks like you and me can actually step forward and say hello to the king himself. It's not every day that history brushes up against the present, and King Charles III's upcoming trip to Lichfield Cathedral promises exactly that kind of unforgettable moment. But here's where it gets intriguing. This isn't just a private affair for VIPs. The public is invited to join in the excitement, sparking all sorts of buzz about tradition, accessibility, and what it means for a modern monarchy. Let's dive into the details, shall we? On Monday, October 27, 2025, His Majesty King Charles will grace the picturesque cathedral city of Lichfield, starting with a visit to an unnamed local spot before making his way to Lichfield Cathedral. The Dean of Lichfield, Revd Jan McFarlane, couldn't be more overjoyed, expressing how thrilled and honored the cathedral community feels to host him. It's a special occasion, especially since it's been 14 years since the late Queen Elizabeth II paid a visit, a reminder of how these royal connections can bridge generations and highlight the vibrancy of local heritage. McFarlane shared that the cathedral and city are bursting with pride, eager to showcase their community's spirit to the king. Inside the cathedral, the king will mingle with a select group of invited guests, including dedicated volunteers and talented local choirs who bring the area to life through their service and music. But don't fret if you're not on the exclusive list. The event organizers have thoughtfully arranged for the general public to participate. Specifically, there's a dedicated viewing area set up around the close, the historic open space adjacent to the cathedral, where you can greet the king upon his arrival and perhaps catch a glimpse as he leaves. Entry to this area opens bright and early at 9 a.m., and to ensure safety and comfort, capacity is limited, with the space closing once it's comfortably full. It's a practical way to include everyone without overwhelming the scene, much like how public parades balance spectacle with security. For those wondering about the logistics, and trust me, planning a royal welcome involves some smart foresight, Lichfield Cathedral has spelled it out clearly on their website. They'll have restricted access at the cathedral's front on the grassy and paved areas for welcoming the king. Keep in mind, pedestrian entry is strictly via Dam Street, with police managing the flow and conducting bag searches for everyone's security. Once the close reaches its limit, folks will be guided to Beacon Street for a view of the royal convoy coming and going. And this is the part most people miss: accessibility matters here. The main viewing spot is on a sloping grass bank, which works well for strollers with pushchairs but isn't ideal for wheelchairs, mobility scooters, or those with mobility challenges. To address this, there's a reserved flat, hard-standing area on the north side of the close. Just let an event steward know your needs in advance, as spots are limited and fill up fast. Now, let's talk about what really stirs the pot. Royal visits like this can polarize opinions. On one hand, they're a beautiful nod to tradition, uniting communities and celebrating shared history in a way that feels personal and inclusive. But here's where it gets controversial. In today's world, where debates about the role of the monarchy rage on, some might question if pouring resources into such events is the best use of public funds or if it distracts from pressing issues like economic inequality. Is this a charming relic of the past, fostering national pride, or an outdated extravagance that could be redirected elsewhere? Revd McFarlane hopes locals will line the streets with cheers, painting a picture of communal joy, yet it begs the question: does this strengthen societal bonds, or is it merely a feel-good diversion? What are your thoughts on all this? Do you see royal engagements as vital for cultural continuity, or do they feel out of touch with modern priorities? If you've got a story from past royal visits or a fresh take on the monarchy's place in society, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your takes and spark some lively discussion.